What is up, team? Welcome back to the Red Storm Rapid Reaction Podcast. I'm Pat Kane, joined once again by my good friend Cole Atshaw. St. John's just finishes off a nice week. Two road wins, two quad one victories today. They run away from Creighton in Omaha, a rarity for all St. John's fans. 90-73, and that's with a little bit of a letdown late. It was not as close as that final score shows. Cole, were you able to enjoy the St. John's game today?
Oh yeah, what an absolute butt kicking. It was great. I think probably the best 40 minutes that this St. John's team has played all year. I think we saw a lot of things that we kind of thought we would see from day one. There was a lot of inside out action, dumping the ball to Zubie, double teams were coming, and he was kicking out and finding shooters, hitting Uzziah or Lefty for threes, which was awesome. And I think most importantly, the biggest problem we've had all year, giving up offensive rebounds to the opposition. No real second chance opportunities given up today. Only one offensive rebound we let go. So that was tremendous. Just all in all, just great effort. And, you hope these two quad one wins stick as quad one wins.
Yeah.
Great road victories. Take it from there. Get a little momentum. Don't let us get hot.
Yeah, so a Creighton sans Ryan Kalkbrenner. That middle seemed a little bit less tough for our guys to rebound, to score inside. Definitely a new look Creighton team. They have improved since the start of the season, but was it us playing really well? Is this a good matchup for St. John's? We'll find out a little bit more as the season progresses, but nonetheless, two much needed wins when St. John's looked like they were headed in the wrong direction, get themselves back headed towards where they want to be at the end of the season. And like you said, these are quad one wins now. Hopefully, they'll be able to stay quad one wins. That top 70 mark for a road game is where you need it to be. So right now, safely in there. Um, I think we want to start here with the I don't know if you can call him the MVP with the other contributions guys had, but leading scorer, Lefteris Leotopoulos. Cole, what do you think of Lefty today?
I'll call him the player of the game. Sure. Yeah. Tremendous shooting, especially 5 for 8 from deep. Just is so confident with that 3-point shot. You love to see it. Obviously, he's getting some extended minutes between the Butler game and then also today. So coach is seeing something he really likes. Now, the trade-off here is Jason Sandin only with 6 minutes. But, Lefty played incredible. I thought – for as well as he played against Butler, I thought he struggled a little bit defensively. We did not see that today. I thought he looked great on the defensive end. Obviously shot the hell out of the ball offensively. So you just really hope that this helps him build on his confidence and his momentum and that he can be a real piece moving forward. Because having that additional shooters to spread the court, him and Uzziah on the court at the same time. Dylan Darling, I know we dragged him. I dragged him early in the season.
Yeah, don't throw me in there.
He's been shooting tremendously after, Rick called him out publicly and they put a little work in fixing that shot. So, when you got multiple shooters out there and then Bryce is playing well down low, Zubie is drawing double teams. Sky's the limit, man.
Yeah, Zubie 6 assists today, leads the team in assists. I saw a stat today. Only high major player to lead his team in points, rebounds, assists, and blocks. So he's doing a little bit of everything for us. And today was no exception. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. And really the hub of the offense. A lot of those inside out looks came from feeding Zubie, drawing some attention to him finding those shooters. And then the next step is making those shots. And Lefty, with confidence that he's gotten recently, is certainly a threat there. Josan didn't get the minutes. I think he's been a little bit of a empty calorie guy too consistently. If he's hitting shots, obviously it looks good. He's got the physical tools, things you want to see from a wing, but far too often, if he's not hitting those shots, he seems to be a net negative out there. Um, Not the best defender, not the best rebounder, kind of gets lost in the offensive scheme if he's not making those shots. But a super talented kid and a guy that I'm sure Rick's not going to just throw away to the curb. We've seen Darling get benched. We've seen Lefty struggle to get minutes. We see Ayo now in 2 straight games not get minutes. And Rick doesn't seem like a coach who forgets these guys for good. He is going to ride the hot hand. He's going to mix around some rotations, but I don't think he's going to forget about these guys. He's going to want to get them back in the mix. Obviously, the challenge then will be figuring out the minutes when all of them are playing well, but certainly a good issue if that were to happen.
Yeah, and we've just seen that with the Butler game with Dylan Darling getting a DMP, and kudos to him for immediately bouncing back, having a short memory, and having a tremendous game today. I think we also should call out Dylan Mitchell, who had an awesome game, flirting with a double-double in only 19 minutes, 8 points, 9 rebounds. Really was affecting a lot out there on the court. And like Rick said in the post-game press conference, really helps them turn up the tempo. Really is always looking to press the ball.
Yeah, pushes it in transition, can guard 1 through 5 as well as anybody on the team. And the triple big lineup today seemed like just too much physicality for Providence to handle. Again, without Kalkbrenner and Freeman, the big they got from Iowa has not been what they expected to be. Um, let's see Jackson. Ian Jackson kind of an up and down last few weeks, but I think his trajectory is going in the right way. 12 points, 4 for 8, 2 for 3 from three, three rebounds, no assists. But if you have an inside out game rolling, the need for a half court point guard becomes much less evident. And when you're keeping teams off the boards, you're able to rebound and run in transition. So if St. John's is able to, find that equation against other Big East teams, keep them off the offensive glass and find some inside outside looks, then all of a sudden you're not looking at that need for a point guard. Keep in mind we were up big late, so that it didn't come down to a late game offensive controlled situation, which is haunted us so far this season and is yet to still be solved completely. But I think Jackson is heading in the right direction, confidence wise. He's in a good spot. I think Rick has kind of laid off him a little bit, let him play through some mistakes. Still seems to be, on him for 1 or 2 things a game, but I don't think that will ever quite go away. But I think Ian Jackson take where he was, a month ago and the worries people had. I think he's really alleviated a lot of those worries, and now people are looking forward to see where he can go from here.
Yeah, and you hope to see these efficiency shooting numbers keep staying so high, 2 for 3 from 3 point. Like if he's shooting right now about 36%, keep that high. I liked that. I don't think he had any makes at the rim, but you saw him take it to the basket a little more often tonight. He got blocked a few times, but I think he's that dangerous at beating people off the dribble. So keep shooting the deep ball well. Keep taking the ball to the rim.
Speaking of deep balls, balls. Oziah Sellers, really good overall game for him today. 16 points, 2 for 4 from the 3 point line, 2 for 2 from the line, and then 6 rebounds, 5 assists, contributing in other areas. Spent a little time. I don't know what you'd call it. If you had the lineup of Darling, Lefty, and Sellers, 1 through 3. I don't know who you called three there. I think I'd go with Sellers, but him next to 2 other guys who are capable playmakers, capable shooters, with Darling shooting the way he is now, was a potent offensive group. One I'd like to see some more of. Um, will they be able to hang with the more athletic teams? Marquette is a struggling team, but they got athletes on the wing. Obviously, the UConns and the Villanovas, they got some athletes we'll have to deal with in the backcourt. Would a lineup like that be able to play long stretches? Who knows? We are coming off a game where Rick didn't play Darling a minute. So, like I said, I think these lineups will change. I continue to be in Darling's corner. I think he's a big key to this season. I think that 19-minute mark is, 15 to 20 is that sweet spot for him. How we can get him to do that while staying aggressive and then helping the bench get some easy baskets, I think is key. Um, we talked, you mentioned Hopkins playing better. Your thoughts on him over these last few weeks, where he's headed and what he's doing now?
He's staying aggressive, which I like. I think he needs to get a little better finishing around the rim. His confidence seemed to be lacking there for a spell, and he seems to be getting that back and playing more aggressive, which you like to see. And obviously, it's what Rick is pushing him to do. But I think about it, you just brought up that lineup of Lefty, Darling, and Sellers all being on the court at the same time. If you have them on the court with Zubie and Bryce, I don't know how you defend that. If those 3 guards are shooting as well as you can, it opens up so much more for Zubie in an inability to, you can't run those double teams at Zubie like Creighton today was trying to do when you have 3 guys that are all going to hit from deep like that. Bryce also has the ability to shoot from deep, and it's a very unique lineup. I don't know how strong they would be at the defensive end against an athletic team, but to your point, incredible shooting.
Yeah, and you could sub in Jackson for Darling there to get a little more height. In theory, this is the lineup we were thinking of really just replace Sandin with Lefty. Well, it hasn't worked out as well as we thought. but you get shooters on the perimeter who are finding a groove, finding some rhythm together, finding some, good familiarity. And then, they start hitting shots, and all of a sudden we're wondering if we have any offensive issues. We still do, but didn't see them today. Hopefully we won't see them for a couple more weeks. But St. John's on the good side of Creighton, only our second win all time in Omaha. So appreciate it while you still can. Let's before we move on past Lefty, Cole made a great graphic. We're gonna just sit here and talk about our guy Left Harris for a minute.
You
All
just
right,
wanted me to have
so
a pretty picture of his head. That was the only reason.
yes, look at that face. He's smiling. He's happy. Career 2 points per game, 28% 3-point shooter, 35% field goal in only 6 minutes. So a rep as a shooter, but it just hasn't translated, and it's not easy. We just mentioned shooting is so much about confidence, knowing the trust you have from your teammates and your coaches. You get in for spot minutes, you miss your first one, you're hesitant. It's natural to not be at your best shooting wise when you're not getting consistent minutes and consistent looks from your teammates or your coaches. But these last two games, and really even further back than that, these last couple weeks, you've seen the confidence grow. 13.5 points over the last two, 50% 3-point shooting, 55% overall in just over 23 minutes a game. And not only hitting threes, but aggressive going to the rim. Had a really nice and one finish against Butler. Um, when he's a threat to catch and shoot, obviously he's going to give you opportunities for defense to close out hard, get a step going towards the rim.
Confident
He,
pulling up from the mid range. Yep.
yeah, yeah, really good to see. I've been in Lefty's corner, and the defensive issues are an issue. But he seems to know that. We heard Rick joke about how he whispered in his ear, that weather in Greece might be nice, and you might be headed back tomorrow if you don't start playing defense. Um, was he joking? Who knows? Lefty said he wasn't quite sure, but I don't think Rick seems to trust Lefty. Even when he wasn't getting mega minutes, he had no hesitation putting him in a unique, tough spot, end the game situation and a half situation. So I think there is a real confidence there. But Rick needs guys who can defend, who he can trust on that side of the court.
One of the things I love most today about Lefty was he was asked by Zach Braziller how he felt about the career high scoring day today, and Lefty immediately started talking about his defense and how that needs to improve. That's such a tremendous attitude from a kid, a real team player, and kudos to him. Happy to see him getting the extended minutes, especially when it comes with two quad one wins. Like if he's going to have that much of effect in important wins, then
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah, good awareness by Lefty, understanding where he's got to get better at. Let's take a look at the quick box score. Good minute distribution here. Zubie 29, Oziah 33, Bryce 29, Lefty 29 minutes. Those four guys led the way. Rebounded by committee, 9 by Mitchell, but then you had 4 by Zubie, 6 by Sellers, 3 by Jackson, 4 by Hopkins, 4 by Rubin. Lefty even contributing 4 himself. And then a balanced approach assisting, sharing the rock. Zubie leading the way with 6, but Dylan had 3. Uzziah had 5. A couple of the guys chipped in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in double figures, and then you had Dylan Mitchell there with 8. So really spread the wealth around scoring wise. Seems like it's going to be a nice trip back to New York. Hopefully, confidence stays high. These guys stay healthy. And Io's not on this. I've got no doubts that Io is as happy as all these guys is with the result of today's game. That just is the type of teammate he is. Personifies what it is to be part of a team. And there'll be a time when Rick calls on him early in a game. He needs this defensive stop. The guys aren't ready, and he knows he's got Io right there. And that's a reassuring thing for a coach, I'm sure, to just be able to trust a guy that you don't need to coddle, don't need to babysit, just ready when you need him. And Io seemingly speaks right to that.
And I want to see the same thing from Josan that we saw from Dylan Darling after not playing in the Butler game. Like, I want to see him keep his confidence high. I want to see him have a bounce back game in the next game against Marquette or against Villanova. He's uber talented, and we know that the results haven't always been there so far this season, but fully confident in him and Rick's ability to get him back on the right track.
Something tells me Josan doesn't lack for confidence even after a game like this. I think he's still going to fire him up. Is that a good thing? Sometimes probably not, but I think in this scenario, he's not going to be a guy that Rick's going to have to like get back up in good spirits. Once he sees one shot drop, I think he's going to be rearing to get the next one off. But I'm not Josan, so maybe I'm wrong. Team comparison. St. John's, You can see Cole highlighted some big factors here. 52% three-point shooting. Obviously, that's a great number on good amount of attempts. 12 for 23. We'll take that every single night. Obviously, don't have to say that twice. Unfortunately, the free throws didn't equate to our best shooting game from the free throw line. Under 70%. Got there 18 times, but it's really the rebounds that is the difference to me. We're talking about our issues so far in the season. We've pointed them out. It's keeping teams off the boards, especially if we're going to be forcing such long shots and actually doing a pretty decent job keeping teams, at a reasonable 3-point percentage. The issue was giving them way too many second and third opportunities tonight. One offensive rebound for Creighton. They seemed pretty hesitant in allowing us to get out in transition, so they were sending guys back, not really attacking the offensive boards, nor do they really have those big bodies we've seen. But if that's an indication of the progress we're making, that's, I think, the best indication from today's game is being able to control the rebounds. And like you've pointed out plenty during the season, when we start Hopkins and Mitchell and Zubie, that would be the expectation, right?
You expect them to dominate points in the paint, and you expect them to limit offensive rebounds, and that's what they did today. And you expect Zubie to hopefully have a lot of assists, kicking out to 3-point shooters when double teams are being run at him. We saw all of that today. That's what we expected from day one, especially with that 3 triple tower lineup running out there together. So it was good to see how that all finally clicked for 40 minutes.
Absolutely. And then Prey off the bench, he's been getting more minutes the last few games, I think, playing alongside other bigs. I think Rick has mentioned he's liked what he's seen there. And if he's a capable, threat from the top of the key to shoot it, he's also a capable passer. I think you can work around some unique lineups to get Ruben some extra minutes and play some, more physical brand of basketball. Um, but St. John's 2 straight road games, leading them both, got them both on the heels of that disappointing Providence loss. Um, Apologies. Life's happening for both me and Cole. We haven't been able to rapid react to a few games here. We have not forgotten about our beloved Johnnies. Just haven't had the time, unfortunately. So appreciate you guys sticking with us. We're back, hopefully consistently. I know Tuesdays and Fridays are tough for me, so we'll do as best as we can. Tuesday, we come back home at the Garden against Marquette, a Marquette team who has not played well this season. We've talked at length about their approach, not grabbing transfers, kind of trying to build from within, and that leaves you susceptible to a season like this where it just doesn't click. Maybe a few injuries, a couple of guys don't make the jump you're hoping for, and there's really nothing they can do except keep fighting until the end of the season. Unfortunately, it seems like it's going to be too little, too late for them. But your thoughts on that game, Cole, if you have any?
Well, it's just another must-win game, especially after dropping the game against Providence. You can't afford another really, really bad loss with the limited number of really good wins that you have to get in the Big East. So, gotta beat Marquette. Can't have any lapses. Home game. Hopefully, the crowd's out there supporting the kids, but must-win game. And then we got another quad one win next Saturday. Quad one opportunity next Saturday at Nova.
Did you already book it? You
Already
called
booked.
it?
I mean, I'm going to
Yeah.
be in the house. I'm going to be tuned up, so I'll be bringing the energy to the kids.
Okay, perfect, perfect. You're right though. I mean, these numbers on your tourney sheet in the season, those quad 3 losses stand out in the wrong way. That Providence loss is a quad 3 loss. This Marquette game would be a quad 3 game at home. So games you can't let slip away unless you're racking up 6, 7, 8 quad 1 wins, and we don't really have those opportunities. We got a handful left. Hopefully, we take advantage of the ones we should take advantage of. Like you mentioned, Villanova is a team we're better than. Obviously, you got to beat them on the road, which is not easy. We saw that last year. But I think the Big East early season struggles notwithstanding has shaken out to a point where there's opportunities for quad 1 and quad 2 wins for the tourney chasers here. Enough to pass around. If you beat the teams you're supposed to beat, get some good opportunities on the road against quad 2 games that maybe a month ago we weren't figuring to be quad 2. I think there's enough beef in this resume remaining schedule to get us going towards, I don't know. I mean, where were we last year at this point? We ended up being a 2 seed. Really nothing's still out of the picture if you were to get that hot. But if we were to go 14-6, could we be a 6 seed or higher? That would have depend on the wins those 14 come from.
I would lean no, but that's me assuming we're not going to beat UConn. You sweep UConn again, and we're talking about a whole different stratosphere.
Yes, and that was a big part in us climbing up those rankings last year and the tourney seedings. Even though UConn was down, that's a reputation win, a game that we really proved ourselves towards the rest of the country in the Big East last year, and we needed to do that. This year, obviously, those wins against UConn will be tougher, but they'd mean a lot more. Um, but just win, right? Just win. Just keep
Win,
knocking
baby.
off wins, keep piling them up, and the rest will take care of itself. Um, Anything else, Cole? I know this was, yeah, a quick one. Maybe we wanted to get on here and just get back to our fans, our supporters, and talk to you about a big St. John's win.
The Johnnies are
Um,
back, man. 2 road quad 1 wins. That's great. That's fantastic. I mean, it's baby steps, and there's a lot more work to be done. But we're happier with the wins than we would be if these were losses. So let's put them in our back pocket and move on. Beat Marquette, and then stack another quad 1 win next Saturday.
Absolutely, 11-5. Hopefully 12-5 after Tuesday's game against Marquette. That game at Nova, another quad one opportunity, a chance to get to 13-5. That's starting to look more and more like a respectable top 20-ish record at this point in the season. We'll see Monday if we receive any votes after these back-to-back wins. But the more important things is our analytic numbers. Ken Palm, net, they're looking really strong. So respect is there, back to being there. Now just take care of business the rest of the way, and hopefully we won't have any more slip ups or any more crashing out on Twitter or Red fans or St. Johnny's everywhere, worried about what's to come. New coach, is this guy washed up? This or that. Enjoy it while it's here, fellas. Hey, if you've been a fan as long as me and Cole have, you've seen much worse than what we've seen. So I can sit through a
That's for
couple nail biting, yeah, a nail biting wins or some unfortunate losses here in January, knowing we're still in a good spot. Expectations aside. But anyway, Cole, thank you, man. Thank you, fans. Please listen, subscribe, hang in with us if we're not as rapid as we'd like to be this time of the year. We both got some stuff going on, but we'll be back. That's for sure. For Eugene Lawrence, I'm Pat Kane. That's Cole Latshaw. This is the Red Storm Rapid Reaction Podcast. Peace.